Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share and activate the notification. Thank you. This film is based on the true story of the capture of one human being most hated by 4 countries. Because of his cruelty and at the same time the most wanted drug dealer. To catch it they really have to go through a very dangerous battle. Right away. The film begins in the Mekong River area of the main trading waterway which flows to several countries. There were 2 merchant ships from China that were crossing the river. They also carry drugs smuggled by the Nawkhar group. The occupants of the ship began to fear when passing through the area known as the Gates of Hell. Because there are so many robbers in the territory. And sure enough the robbers came to attack them. In short, there is a policeman showing the results of his training. They release the hostages from the kidnappers. And shows hundreds of drugs that came from the discovery of 2 robbed ships. They are trying to quell drugs in their country. Gao Gang from China who was assigned to eradicate drugs in the Golden Triangle area. With Xinwu. In a village near the Mekong River, the residents found several floating bodies that were evidence of the cruelty of the Nawkhar group. Police officials with Gao Gang discuss the discovery of bodies and 2 robbed ships on the Mekong River. They also send a lot of informants to Nawkhar territory. At the train station, there is a group of people who are chasing what is suspected to be one of the robbers of the 2 big ships who betrayed Nawkhar. Xinwu is also there to catch the person and get clearer information from him. Then he managed to bring his target from the grasp of Nawkhar's men and started torturing him. Because he couldn't stand the torment, he began to tell who ordered him, which name is Yi Tuo Sin from the Linka group, one of the big drug airports besides Nawkhar, because before the attack on the 2 ships there was betrayal in the group. Here we are told that Nawkhar is the most wanted drug airport by 4 countries, namely Thailand, Laos, Myanmar, and China. The most feared and live in the wilderness, which makes local residents and children become his soldiers. The 4 countries cooperated to capture Nawkhar and crack down on drugs in his country, as well as arrest the perpetrators who killed 13 Chinese sailors. The 4 countries are trying to stop the Nawkhar group in Thailand. In Laos, Myanmar, the police have started to take action to arrest the drug warehouse. In the middle of the forest, the Nawkhar group had started to panic over the simultaneous attacks in several areas. But he is not afraid and continues his business. Gao Gang, who was assigned to Thailand, meets Fang Xinwu. Then they both went to his place where Nawkhar used to rule. They passed the tea plantation where most of the workers didn't have complete hands. Xinwu gave him information about Nawkhar. In the Nawkhar group there are 3 strong people who have their respective duties. Ongsa as a bouncer, Yida as a business transaction, and one more as money launderer. He also turns out to have a son named Nathu. He is involved in his father's business. Then they plan to save Tuo Chin, who was tortured for treason by the Nawkhar group. He is also a big drug dealer besides Nawkhar. They start the action in the paradise of sinners and only have 15 minutes to plan the rescue. Gao Gang starts to enter the place where the target is being tortured, but no one is there. Then he told his members to release the sniffer dogs to meet him. And the dog traced the splattered blood. It turns out that there is also Ongsa in that place who is after Tuo Chin. The Gao gang with the dog keeps looking for the target. He saw his target being tortured, then ordered his members to disrupt the signal so that the enemy could not communicate with each other. Gao gang did their thing by attacking them and managed to save Tuo Chin. Unfortunately, he started to get caught and attacked by the enemy. He tried to find a way out and told his dog to run away first. They keep trying to escape. Their operations are also assisted by the police. Those who managed to escape were seen by Ongsa and immediately chased after him. He bazookaed his car. Thank goodness it was only scratched, and now the second bazooka has hit them. But Gao gang didn't panic, he returned their fire. They managed to survive because of the arrival of reinforcements, and Ongsa decided to retreat. Unfortunately, Tuo Chin can't be saved. Gao gang and Xinwu, who were together, were contacted by his informant and told him to go to the train station. There the Gao gang saw the people he had attacked while rescuing his target and immediately picked up Xinwu. The informant was really scared. It turned out to be a trap to catch him. Xinwu was chased by the enemies. He immediately took off his fake mustache that he had been wearing and managed to beat them. The informant was also saved by the Gao gang. That night they rest and party on the boat and introduce themselves to each other. The next day, in an empty building, they are planning something else to catch Nawkhar by buying drugs. They also work with Dan. He is a drug dealer as well as Peria's business partner and intermediary representative of Lord SA from the Nawkhar group. Two intermediaries from Nawkhar that they have to go through to do business with him, i.e. Lord SA and Sin Ten. That night they had started their action. And Dan informs Peria that a colleague will deliver the goods. They disguise themselves very well. Gao gang disguised as Boss CN. And Xinwu as an intermediary courier from Dan. That night Xinwu met with Peria and introduced him to Boss CN, the undercover Gao gang, and managed to captivate her. Then they all feast on the luxurious ship. While meeting with Lord SA intermediary from Nawkhar, they also met the intermediate Sinton to the second end of their intermediary. He is also the one who killed his girlfriend Xinwu. In the wilderness at the place of Nawkhar, there is a group of children who are gambling with death. And Nawkhar asked the business master SA about his business with Boss Xian. Targets have been included in the plan. The next day they started planning their actions again. They met with Sinton to continue his business. Then came one of Nawkhar's right-hand man named Yida. In another scene, they give money that has been tracked to member Ka Song and third person Nawkhar. Ka Song, this is Nawkhar's business friend. Members who realized something was wrong with Yida immediately told the other members to find out who was controlling their conversation. It turns out that the one controlling this conversation is Nawkhar's son named Natu. And Naka, who was assigned to spy on the third person. Nawkhar and Ka Song were known by his bodyguards. He was trying to save himself and fought with them, thankfully survived and immediately continued the pursuit of the target. At their meeting, Xinwu has realized that Sinton knows him. And he immediately put the gun at his feet. The enemy, who knew something was wrong with the transaction, immediately ordered all his members to withdraw. There was a shootout there. And Yida was caught. They tried to arrest his son Nawkhar. Unfortunately, Dash, a member of the Gao gang, was shot by a small child. Xinwu fought with Sinton and his son Nawkhar was stopped. But they couldn't arrest Natu and Sinton because the local police arrived, who immediately took over the scene. At the hospital they saw Sinton manage to escape with Natu. They didn't catch him but followed him because the two of them couldn't escape from the territory anymore, because all access roads have been closed. They can't go anywhere anymore. Then they try to find another way. The Gao gang immediately chased after him and managed to crash their car. Sinton, who managed to escape, was chased by Sinwu. He was killed by his own hands to avenge the death of his girlfriend. Natu, who was caught, was brought back to the hospital. A few days later they all started to strategize to attack the base that was already known. They were traversing the wilderness and were already monitoring his base. Slowly they begin to approach and overthrow the guards. It turns out that other troops are spying on the Gao gang, troops from their ally Nawkhar. One of the Gao gang's troops was shot by the Karsong troops. They all started to panic and immediately attacked. Explosion occurred in their base and trying to catch Nawkhar, who kept on fighting. One troop fell again and Ongsa fought with Sinwu. Unfortunately Nawkhar managed to escape. Gao gang with his dog keep trying to chase Nawkhar into the cave. It turns out that the Karsong troops betrayed him. They want his treasure that he keeps. There was a shootout between Karsong and Gao gang. And Nawkhar is running away again. Now he was shot, but because of the mine he had prepared he managed to survive the pursuit of Karsong. Gao gang told his dog to trigger all the mines installed. Unfortunately, the Gao gang was shot completely by Karsong. And the dog was shot dead. The three of them continued to chase each other, but Sinwu came to help. He was shot and still survived. And the Gao gang managed to find Nawkhar, who was dying, and tried to escape from the pursuit of Karsong's troops. He was actually shot and still being chased. Sinwu, who saw the explosion from another direction, immediately approached him. Unfortunately Gao gang was shot and fell. He managed to get back to his boat thanks to Sinwu's help. Sinwu was shot too. Thankfully help came. He kept shooting Karsong. And the Gao gang is trying to get Nawkhar to the helicopter. Sinwu, who saw that Gao gang was shot, immediately sacrificed himself, crashing his boat. Many became victims of the Gao gang troops, and Nawkhar was captured. Over. Very exciting film. Their action when catching Nawkhar was truly epic. From his disguise and strategy to capture the enemies. We can feel the tension, and the excitement of each action really makes us entertained. Bye.